Hello, sweet friends. Okay, let's make a casserole. Y'all know we've not made a casserole in so long. I've been trying to cut back on my pasta, but tonight we're going to make one. Let me show you what we got going here. Y'all remember the other night I made those hamburger steaks and I had that big package of ground round that was on sale? Well, this is the rest of it. I had stuck it in the freezer and I got it out today and thawed it out, and I just have it here. It was still a little bit froze, and so I've kind of had it in here sitting on the heat, and it's good to go now. So what we're going to do, we're going to season this up real good. We're going to do some garlic powder. Y'all know I love a good casserole, and this one is so good. It's easy and it's inexpensive. Y'all will love it. Some onion powder. This is usually just stuff that you already have at home, and that's what I love about it so much. All right, we got that, and then what did I do with my kinders? I must have put it back up. Oh, yeah. All right, and then we're going to do a little bit of this buttery steakhouse kinders. So I'm not going to do any salt because this has salt in it. So we're just going to sprinkle some of that all over it really good. Just anything you want, y'all, whatever your favorite seasonings are. All right, and then I have some bell pepper. This is half a bell pepper, half of an onion. I'm going to toss that in because this is ground round. And you know, if I cook a fattier ground meat, then I like to cook it and then add the peppers and onions after I get all that fat out. But I don't think this is not going to have very much, so we'll go ahead and we toss it in, y'all. Okay, I've already cooked our pasta. I have it over here in my little strainer. I have it ready to go. I try to get as much done before I get on here, like the little simple things that I can get done. So anyway, y'all, we're just going to cook this down, and then we're going to make up a delicious sauce, and then we're going to layer up a delicious casserole. Okay, y'all, our ground round is good and brown. I'm going to run a paper towel through it. You probably don't even have to do this because there's not much in there, but I like to anyway. It looks like there is some coming out. It's probably some of the onions, but I'm going to get it out either way. Let's see. And this little paper towel way works so good, y'all. So that gets all that yucky stuff out. Let me put that right there. I think I may need another one. That's probably mostly the liquid coming from the onions because that ground round does not have much fat in it, but it'd make me feel better to get it out either way. All right, I think we're good there. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how we're going to make up this little sauce for our casserole. Now remember, we already did some garlic powder, some onion powder, just your normal seasonings. And for this, we are going to use one of these packets of spaghetti sauce mix. Now listen, I know what you're probably thinking, but trust me on this, these are packed full of flavor. Back in the day, this was how everybody made their spaghetti anyway. This is just a cheaper brand that I bought in my little local grocery store here, and the reason why is because I love the flavor of this brand, okay? It is the Best Choice brand. I don't know if you have this in your little grocery store, but the McCormick spaghetti mix sauce would work just as good, okay? But I love it for this. Now, you can do this so many different ways. You can do just a jar of spaghetti sauce. If you don't want to use a little packet, you can use the jar, or you can make your own because we're going to add some other stuff. We're going to do a can of diced tomatoes. Okay. We're going to do some tomato paste. That is, let me tell y'all, that's the 14.5 ounce can, and this is a 6-ounce can of tomato paste. We're going to use all of each of them. So what I'm saying is, if you don't want to use that little packet, y'all, or some kind of little packet, you can do just the tomatoes, the tomato paste, all of that, and just do your own, like with some Italian seasoning, your garlic, oregano, basil, that whole thing. But I'm telling you, that little packet is so good, and especially for stuff like this, it just gives it a different flavor, and I love it. All right. And it's just something you can grab and just have on hand whenever you need it. And actually, that's how I ended up using it the first time, was I wanted some spaghetti and I didn't have sauce, and I had one of those little packets, and I thought, well, I'm gonna try it, and I loved it. All right, and now you wanna add a little bit of water in with this if you use that packet for sure. So here I have 2 cups of our pasta water. You don't have to use your pasta water, you can use regular water, but since I already cooked my pasta, I thought I would just reserve this to use instead, okay? So we're going to do about 1 cup. Right there, okay? And what we're going to do now, y'all, is just let this cook down. When you use that packet, it's kind of like your taco seasoning or anything like that. You add the water and then you just let it slow simmer and cook down. Now, if you use one of those packets and you don't use like your tomatoes and all that, you would need to add more water, okay? So, for now, we're gonna go with the 1 cup. Look at that, y'all. It looks like a good spaghetti sauce. And I'm telling you, if you try the little packet, get the McCormick or whatever you can find, and you'll love it for this recipe. All right, I'm just gonna let this hang out here, slow simmer. I'm gonna move it over here actually to my bigger burner. And I'm gonna get all this cleaned up, and then I'm gonna show you what we're going to do to the pasta before we layer it up. Okay, y'all, we have our sauce hanging out, and so I just want to tell you real quick, like a few different things that you can do to make this same casserole. Like I said, you can use a jar of marinara sauce in the place of the paste and the diced tomatoes and the packet and all that, or you can do just a can of the tomatoes or paste or sauce or puree or crushed. Whatever you have, you can put that in there and just season it up your own way like you would if you were making your own meat sauce. So, you know, you would do some oregano. You would want to do a little pinch of sugar for all the acid and all the tomatoes, but you know, just dress it up like you would. There's so many different variations on how you can do this. But that little packet, I love it, and I love the flavor that comes with it. So that's what I'm saying. This is usually something you can throw together with stuff you have in your cabinet. So let me show you how we're going to do this pasta, y'all. All right, so I have some egg noodles here. Let me show y'all. Hang on. I did the 12-ounce pack of just the white egg noodles. You can do any pasta you want. This is just what I chose today, which I love the egg noodles, especially for this. And as you'll notice, my pasta, I always rinse it and drizzle a tiny bit of olive oil over it because I don't like a big flop whenever you try to dump out your pasta. So that's optional, but that's what I choose to do, okay? Now we're going to season it a little bit. I'm going to do a little bit of garlic. Not too much, just a little. We're going to do a little bit of oregano. And again, this is stuff you have in your cabinet. A little bit of parsley. I'm going to open this up. This thing comes out so small. And this is just all if you want to. You can do just the regular noodles if you want to, okay? And then I'm going to do a little bit of garlic salt. Now, we already did the garlic, but we're going to do garlic salt. Just a little. And we're going to do a little bit of pepper. Just sprinkle a little on. Okay. A little bit of Parmesan. I know this looks like a lot, y'all, but really it's just simple things. Just sprinkle you some Parm in, just like that. Let me check this. It's coming up to starting to pop over here. It smells really good. Okay. Now we're going to do some sour cream. I think we're going to put, for this amount, we're going to do about a cup. I thought I had a spoon now. We're going to do about 1 cup. So let's see. Well, maybe just a little bit more. Okay. Now let's mix this up. Let's see here. Just mix all that around, all those good spices, that sour cream in your pasta. Y'all love this. Your kids will love it. I've not made this in so long, but it's a very good casserole. Alright, I'm going to take just a drip of this pasta water and pour in it. You don't have to do this. You can use regular water too. But I mean, just maybe a tablespoon. Just to give it a little bit of liquid. Yeah, there we go. You see that? Now our pasta is ready to layer up. See it? You know, this is good. You can just eat a piece of this by itself. So good. Alright. I'm just going to let our meat sauce hang out for another few minutes, get all this up, and whenever I come back, we're going to layer this up. Okay, y'all, one last thing that I'm going to do to our sauce, and I tell you what, this is what finishes it off. 1 pat of butter, okay? Now, if you, back in the day, that was a thing. That's what they always did. I didn't understand it until I tried it, and I love it, okay? And now we're going to do a little bit of parm, just over the top, just like that. All right, I'm gonna pop a lid on this. We're gonna mix all that up in that butter, but we're just gonna let that sit, let that butter melt, and that is our last step before we layer it up. One other thing I wanna show y'all, I had bought this fresh mozzarella cheese. If you can see it, I've got it in a Ziploc bag now, but it comes like in a roll, and it's already sliced up. I grabbed this yesterday at Kroger to use for our chicken parmesan, you know, that I was planning on making yesterday, and then Braden got sick. And I'm still going to make that. It'll probably, maybe Sunday, Monday. It'll just depend on how he's feeling. Anyway, I thought, well, that would go perfectly with this. And I know I'm not going to use all this for the chicken parmesan. So I grabbed out 4 little slices and I diced it up like this. And I'm going to put this on top of our casserole. So again, this is just an option. You can use any kind of cheese you want. I'm going to use some other that I have already shredded up earlier. But once I remembered that I had this, I thought, well, I'm going to use some of that too. Anyway, y'all, about 5 minutes. I'm going to let this hang out and then we'll be ready to assemble. All right, y'all, let's look at this sauce. Oh my goodness, look at this. Does that not look good? This is good for, this sauce right here is good for spaghetti or anything you want to use it for. All right, we're just gonna mix that in, that butter and that Parmesan, and now we're ready to put this together. All right, got that turned off. I have my oven on 350. All right, we're gonna start with, we're gonna spray. Let me back you up so y'all can see the whole deal here. All right, I'm gonna spray my pan. I have a 9x13 here. Okay, we're gonna start with half of our pasta. That good pasta we seasoned up. It's about half, okay? I'm just gonna spread that out. Like that. A good little tin pan works great for this too, y'all. Okay, and then we're going to get us a bigger spoon, and we're going to do some of our meat sauce right over the top of that. Okay, I believe that's about half. Let's try to bring that around. It's kind of like a lasagna, but different at the same time and much easier. All right, and I'm going to do a little bit of parm. Just sprinkle a little over. Now we're going to do some cheese. I just have a mixture of cheeses here, y'all. You can use any kind of cheese you want. I didn't want to shred anymore, and so I was glad to remember that I had that that mozzarella in the fridge that I could just chop up really quick. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing again. The rest of our pasta. All right. Spread that out. Kind of mash it down a little bit so you make sure you have room for everything. Okay. Got that, and then now we're going to do our sauce. Just right over the top. I could probably just pour this right over, but I guess I will, because we're gonna need the rest of it anyway. Okay. I'm gonna spread that out. Y'all, talk about good. It makes a lot. This is perfect to have leftovers in the fridge for the kids, especially during the summer. They'll love it. And you can leave out, like I said, you can use any kind of mixture you want in your meat sauce. If you want to leave out like the peppers, the onions, the tomatoes, all that, you can use just a smooth flavored sauce will be just fine. Okay? All right, a little bit of parm. All right, we're going to go ahead and do the rest of our cheese here that we have. Let's try to spread this out the best we can. Okay, now we're going to use our little pieces of mozzarella that I diced up. Like I said, of course, this is optional. I just had it, so any kind of cheese works, y'all. Y'all know that. Just spread this over, just like that. Okay. You know, and that fresh mozzarella is really moist. It's a different texture than the other kind that we get all the time. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit of seasoning on top. Oregano. Y'all know I love this same combination on my casseroles. A little bit of garlic salt, not much, just a little. All right, and some parsley. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna pop this in the oven. Like I said, I got it on 350. As you can see here what it looks like. I'm going to cook this for maybe 20 minutes or so, but I'll let you know whenever I come back. Okay, y'all, look at this. I tell you what, this thing looks so good. Look at it. I've had it sitting out here resting for a few minutes, as long as I could stand it. So what I did was I cooked this on 350 for about 20 minutes, and then I turned it on broil just to get that top, a little bit of color, you know, like I do on top. Okay, now we're gonna get some out. Let's see here. I know it's still crazy hot, but I can't stand it no longer. Ooh, look at that, y'all. And I'll tell you what, talk about casserole, this is certainly one. Y'all know I gotta love this if this is what I chose. After all this time that I've not had pasta. Look at it. I like to put a little bit of extra parm on mine. Y'all know that any dish like this, that's what I do. Okay, now let's give it a taste test. Put my fork here. It's so cheesy. I love the way that mozzarella did on top. I mean, normally I wouldn't have that, but if you want to grab some and do that, it's a great addition to it. Now, normally, you know, you'd serve this with garlic bread or a salad. I was going to do a salad, but I had a salad for lunch today, and, you know, I had one for dinner last night. So I didn't really want another salad. But for lunch today, I made that sub in a tub salad again. Y'all, I love that. That is really good. I can't believe I have waited this long before trying it, because I love it so much. It's really good. Goodness, y'all, that's so good. I absolutely love that sauce that little packet makes. Now, I make homemade sauce and I love it. I use the Rayo's, you know, and I love it. It's delicious. But that little packet makes a great sauce too. Don't ever think. You know, we get so accustomed to the jarred sauces and this and that, and we forget about some of the older and it's very inexpensive way to make a sauce, and it's really good, y'all. I love this, y'all. You will love it too. Your kids will love it. Like I said, you can customize it however you want. Leave out the chunky tomatoes, the onions, the bell peppers, all that. Just make you a smooth sauce with that that packet. You can do tomato sauce, diced tomatoes, tomato paste, however you want to do it. Add you a little bit of water in there, or your pasta water, whatever you want to do. It's so versatile. I've let a fly in. I just let Belle out and she just come back in. Anyway, y'all, I'm fixing to have this, and I definitely got to go for my walk tonight and walk off some of these calories, but it's going to be worth it. I'm going to enjoy this in the meantime. Okay, I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.